Hey guys, mahal everyone, 40 the Broadway Saiyan here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel with another video on Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia. This time we're going to be doing another for fun or for glory video featuring Agrias, the next character event coming soon to the global version of the game. Let's go ahead and dive right into this character's for fun or for glory. So upon Agrias' initial release, what does she bring to the game? She brings to us a combination of damage, support, and control utility, and she also has an amazing self-unique buff that supports the party as an aura, and we're going to get into it a little bit into the video as what does that mean as far as providing an aura to the party. Now she also functions well as a brave battery because her first ability does provide brave to the party before she actually deals damage. She can also deal both single and multi-target damage. She has longevity because her brave and HP attacks do change into a stronger version after you use her abilities. Because her unique buff is applied as an aura, she also works well with other support units, meaning that you don't have to worry about her pushing buffs off from other support characters, and she is a very versatile unit because of how she's built. She can be used in numerous party setups. So let's go ahead and take a look at her two abilities in a deeper sense and see why she is such a good character when she comes out. So her first ability is called Knight's Pride. Now we're going to take a look at this ability both with the 15 CP weapon passive as well as the level 55 crystal passives taken into consideration. So what this does is it grants 2 unique stacks of the brave unique buff to herself, capping out at 5 stacks, and then this brave unique buff grants the following with each stack. So it grants a attack and max brave increase and debuff evasion rate applied to Agrias, and then it also grants a brave and HP regen that's applied to the entire party. However, that brave and HP regen granted to the entire party is applied as an aura to her allies. So what that means is it's an invisible buff. So as long as that unique buff is active on Agrias, your party benefits from the brave and HP regen, and the only way that your party would lose this is either 1, the turn duration is finally completed for the unique buff for Agrias, or 2, it's dispelled from Agrias. But as long as you have that active, your party has that those 2 sustainable buffs, which is amazing. So at 1 stack, brave grants 20% attack and max brave increase to Agrias herself, and then the brave and HP regen is going to be at 5% of initial brave and 2% of max HP to the party. At 2 stacks, it's at 30% attack and max brave to Agrias, and then 10% of initial brave regen to the party, and HP regen at 4% of max HP to the party. At 3 stacks, it's at 40% attack and max brave to Agrias, and then the regens are at 15% initial brave and then 6% of max HP to the party. At 4 stacks, it's at 50% attack and max brave increase to Agrias, and then the regens are at 25% of initial brave for the brave regen and 8% of max HP regen to the party. And then finally at 5 stacks, it's at 70% attack and max brave increase to Agrias, which is pretty good amount right there, and then a brave regen of 40% initial brave and 10% HP regen of max HP to the party. So as you can see right there, that's pretty good, and especially that with a stacking mechanic allowing this unique buff to continuously get stronger, she provides amazing support to your party. Now this ability does other things, so what it also does is the brave unique buff does increase in stack whenever a party member receives HP damage. However, keep in mind this is once per turn, so that's one way to increase the stack, or you can just have Agrias use Knight's Pride again to increase the stack. She also deals HP damage after usage, so not only does this ability support your party, but it also deals straight up HP damage, meaning that Agrias has the potential to be able to take out enemies and help your party finish off the enemy much faster. And then she also changes her HP attack to HP attack plus after using this ability. HP attack plus will heal Agrias' brave by 20% of her max brave prior to her dealing that HP damage. So very, very powerful ability for Knight's Pride. Now her second ability is going to be called Judgment Blade or Judgment Blade Plus. Now we're going to take a look at this ability with a 35 CP and level 60 passives taken into consideration. This is going to be a 3-hit AoE melee brave attack. It has a 180% brave damage potency. Judgment Blade Plus, that variant, will deal split AoE HP damage after the brave hit. So what that means is that whatever the brave damage is, it's going to be divided HP damage wise if there's multiple targets. Now the brave unique buff will be changing Judgment Blade to Judgment Blade Plus, and you're going to have that active anyways, because if you're using Agrias, there's no reason why you shouldn't have that active. And this also has a 1.6% or 1.6 times increased damage towards a single target. So if you use this ability on a single target, you're going to be dealing more damage with it. It also has a 15% chance to inflict paralysis for 1 turn. While it's not as high as Cloud's, this is still not bad considering that this is an AoE ability. And then it also changes her Brave Attack to Brave Attack Plus, which is a 1-hit melee Brave Attack with a 100% Brave damage potency. It also heals the party's Brave by 70% of Agrias' attack after usage, so it kind of gives her another option to be functioning as a Brave battery. So overall, very, very powerful abilities. Now she also does get an EX weapon that you could potentially summon for upon the release of her event. So that EX ability is called Hallowed Bolt, and we're going to take a look at it. Of course, you need to have the EX weapon equipped to have this ability active, and we're going to take a look at it full MLB considered, or max limit break. So it's a 4-hit AoE melee Brave plus HP attack. It has a 240% Brave damage potency. It deals 100% HP damage to all targets, so it's not split, it's not splash, it's just straight up 100%, which is pretty good. It has a 1.6 times increased damage towards a single target, just like Judgment Blade, and at 2 LB out of 3, it inflicts a unique debuff called Silence for 1 turn. And what this does is it prevents the usage of magic Brave attacks and magic Brave plus HP attacks. So if you know your enemy target is going to be doing some sort of a magical attack and you use this, when their turn comes, essentially their turn is, they don't do anything. So essentially it's almost like they're paralyzed, which makes Agrias a very, very powerful control character, especially if you have this EX weapon. So that is going to be the look at her abilities. Again, as you could see, she gives you damage, she gives you great buffs, she gives you great support, and she gives you great control with Silence and Paralyze. So what are Agrias' pros and cons? Because there's no such thing as a perfect character in Opera Omnia, so we're going to take a look at what her pros and cons are. So her pros are, even without her EX weapon, she can prove to be a very powerful party member. So the reason why I say this is because while her EX weapon does give her a great option, not only for 100% AoE HP damage and a fairly hard-hitting ability, it doesn't actually give her any sort of unique buff. You're already getting that from Knight's Pride from her first ability. So the reason why I say she doesn't need her EX weapon to be powerful is because you're essentially just getting another way to control the enemy and another way to deal damage. So without it, she can actually still be a very powerful character. She has amazing control utility with Paralysis and Silence, as we've already discussed with her abilities. She has amazing regenerative support with her unique buff being applied as an aura to her allies, so that constantly improving Brave regen and HP regen being provided as an aura is just amazing. So she can actually keep your party alive with that amazing sustainability. And she has great damage, as her attack stat is actually naturally high, and having that Brave unique buff stacking grants her up to 70% attack, which is pretty good. Now, what are her cons? So since her unique buff is stacking, it's going to take some time to actually build up, so you either have to continuously use Knight's Pride, and Knight's Pride actually has a low ability usage, so you want to keep that in mind. So it's either you're doing that or you're risking one of your party members take HP damage. So that's one of her cons. Now, while her attack stat is high, unfortunately she does have a naturally low max Brave stat, so her HP damage capabilities won't be as potent, let's say for like somebody compared to like Kate Sith or compared to somebody like Beatrix. And she also lacks Overflow, unfortunately, with any of her abilities. And Overflow for a damage dealing unit, generally it's more desired, but Agrias more than makes up for it with what she has to offer with her kit. And then the base damage in her abilities, even with all the passives, are a bit low. 180% for Judgment Blade, and then 240% for her EX ability is a little bit low when you take into consideration some of the other abilities we've seen that can climb up as high as like to 600% Brave damage potency. However, what I do like is at least with her first ability, if you have all the passives equipped, she can deal HP damage, so she doesn't even need to deal Brave damage, she can just go straight for their HP. So that's going to be some of her cons. And another one that I do want to mention is if an enemy resists melee damage, unfortunately her damage output will be diminished, so just make sure you don't bring her into any type of stage or quest that involves a boss that resists melee damage. Alright, so what are some final thoughts before this character comes out? So with her versatility, she's arguably one of the best investments for a character that DFFOO has to offer. And even though you may see her flaws as off-putting, her entire kit, I feel like, more than makes up for it. Now, because of her supporting capabilities being presented to us as an aura for her allies, like I said earlier, she can be run with other support buffers without having to worry about pushing buffs off. So you can run her with like Kate Sith, Selphie, Eiko, or even Beatrix. And I actually would love to see her with Beatrix because they're both Holy Knights and they both have a little bit of similarities as far as character-wise and lore-wise, so it'd be really cool to see them together in the same party. Artifacts-wise, if you want to build up this character, max Brave plus 330, attack plus 108, and then Brave Holy Knight up 2-star. And finally, as a future investment, Agrias receives an extremely powerful rework coupled with a level 70 awakening, and her EX weapon can now be EX plus in the JP version of the game. And currently in JP, she is one of the best characters in the game, probably either top 3 or top 4. So she is a definite worthy investment. So even after you decide to pull for her now upon her initial release, just know that this character becomes crazy good. So you're on your way to be investing in one of the best characters that Dissidia Opera Omnia has to offer. And super exciting again because she is a Final Fantasy Tactics representative. For me, one of the best games in the series. So I'm super excited for this character. Hopefully this For Fun or For Glory video helps you guys out. So is Agrias for fun or for glory? It's pretty obvious. She's a character that's for glory. She's going to be serving you well. She's going to be that devoted knight, giving you everything that you need as far as damage, support, control, all that good stuff. So definite character to invest in. Alright guys, well this is going to be the end of the video. Once again, my name is 40 the Broadway Saiyan. Stay tuned for the next one, and mahal everyone.